Hello everyone, my name is Ian, and today I'm back at Houston George Bush Airport while I'll be taking my first ever trip to Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas is renowned for its beloved architecture and attractions, which include its popular casinos and high-end restaurants. We started off taxiing in as a connecting flight, where we passed a good amount of United aircraft, all of which looked really great in the late evening glare. After pulling into the ramp, we made our way over to our departure gate, Echo 24, which is where our aircraft was parked. This United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8, registered November 27252, will be flying us on our 3-hour journey to Las Vegas Harry Reid International Airport. November 27252 has been with United its entire lifetime since its recent delivery in July of 2021. After scanning our boarding passes, we made our way down the jet bridge and onto the aircraft, where each passenger was politely greeted by the crew. Soon after, we found our seats. My seat for today's flight is 28F, on the right side of the fuselage. The seat is equipped with an in-flight entertainment system, or IFE, the usual extendable tray table, and then of course the seat back pocket with the safety card and magazine. Said magazine also doubled as the menu for the in-flight catering. The seat comes with a universal power outlet as well as a USB port and a port to plug in the provided headphones. And of course the credit card slot for any in-flight purchases when the crew aren't available. The monitor is also horizontally adjustable. Turning our attention to the leather seat itself, it's very plush and has an adjustable headrest. Above it all though, literally, were some individual air vents and lights for each of the 3 passengers along with cabin crew call buttons. Following my recording of the previous tour, we began our swift pushback, kicking off tonight's flight. Afterward, we began our taxi to the runway, which was promptly followed by some great plane spotting. Following our long but colorful taxi, we aligned to the runway and took off with haste, bound for Las Vegas. Here's our scenic departure out of Houston, runway 15 right. Following the dimming of the cabin lights and our ascent into the night skies, our aircraft was hit with some pretty rough turbulence for an hour straight, which caused in-flight meal and beverage services to be significantly delayed. I didn't think much of it though, considering I was playing a mobile flight simulator for the whole time. About halfway into the flight, the turbulence had stopped and the in-flight services promptly began right after. As usual, I ordered one of United's signature snack boxes, specifically the tapas box, and to change it up a bit from my usual Coca-Cola, I ordered a ginger ale. The box art showcased a United Airlines aircraft flying over the blue domes of Santorini in Greece, which definitely passed the aesthetics test. Inside the snack box, you'll find hummus, delicious melted cheese spread, pita chips, olives, almonds, crackers, and a small dessert of Biscoff cookies. The olives were really good and were flavorful. The pita chips paired nicely with both spreads, as did the crackers, and the almonds were also pretty good, so for $10 I'd say it's worth it. Also, United does provide free Wi-Fi on their MAX 8s, however its capabilities are limited and the connection is rather poor, though it is good for simple texting and writing documents. I'm not going to complain about this because, well, A, the Wi-Fi is free, and B, I'm 35,000 feet in the air and basically sharing a single router with 150 other people, all while traveling at a subsonic speed of around 550 miles an hour. So in my eyes, the Wi-Fi is pretty good. Soon enough though, we were approaching Sin City and were aligning to the runway from our current altitude of about 3,500 feet. And since Las Vegas is a lone city in the middle of a barren desert, it wasn't very long until the only lights within a 50-mile radius came into view outside. With that, here's our arrival into Las Vegas Harry Reid International Airport, runway 26 right. After our landing, I took in the beautiful view of the Las Vegas Strip from the runway, and shortly afterward we veered off and began our quick taxi over to Terminal 3, specifically the D gates. During which I saw actual American hard stands, which are isolated ramps without jet bridges. It is pretty rare in the US to see these being used regularly for commercial flights, but I guess not all airlines have ruled them out yet. Moving on, we pulled into our ramp right next to United 737-900ER. Welcome to Las Vegas, one of the most famous and popular cities in the entire world. On our way to claim our baggage, we traveled some more through LAS's underground intersection, which had these very finely decorated escalators, which I highly approve of. Overall, my flight was pretty good, and the amazing travel experience that followed was even better. Like I said in the beginning of the video, amazing food, lights, architecture, and a very unique city design. At night, everything was vibrantly illuminated and I enjoyed observing the newest attraction, the Las Vegas Sphere. And of course I made sure to stop by the Gemini Jets headquarters while I was there, since it was literally down the road. The very, very long road. If you're interested in that, I made a full tour video going over every little detail of the store and its world famous collection, which I'll be putting a card for on the screen with a link to that video. However, that is going to wrap up this trip report. It was a pleasure making it, and I can easily say I had a great time on my trip. As always, thank you very much for watching, and until our next journey, fly safe.